Hello, dear students. Today we are going to start a new unit from our Behave book, unit number 7. The name of our unit is Baking. This story is an extract from Jerome K. Jerome novel Three Men in a Boat. The narrator of the story and his two friends decided to go on holiday. The question of packing the things for the journey arose. The author thought that he was an expert in packing. Lai asked his friends George and Harris to leave packing to him. When he had finished packing, certain things remained out. He opened the bag again. In the same way, he had to pack and unpack time and again. The packing was still not complete. Harris and George undertook to do the rest of the job, but they were also not expert in packing. They damaged a number of things and did the job shabbily. At last, the packing was complete by 12:50 in the night. They went to bed with the intention of waking up at 6:30 in the morning. स्टूडेंट्स, इस स्टोरी में बहुत सारे फनी इंसिडेंट हैं. इस स्टोरी में जो कैरेक्टर्स है उसमें एक है जेरोम. जेरोम है वो नरेटर भी है. उसके दो फ्रेंड्स हैं, एक का नाम हैरिस है, दूसरे का नाम जॉर्ज है. और उसमें एक पेट डॉग का भी एक इंसिडेंट है और उसका नाम है मोंटमोरेंसी. सो गाइज, let's start. I said I'd pack. I rather pride myself on my packing. Packing is one of those many things that I feel I know more about than any other person living. It surprises me myself sometimes how many such things there are. I impressed the fact upon George and Harris and told them that they had better leave the whole matter entirely to me. The writer Jerome liked to pack luggage for trips and announced that he would do the packing. He thought that his ability to pack luggage was better than others. He asked his friends George and Harris to leave the task of packing to him. राइटर कहते हैं कि जो यात्रा के लिए, जो जर्नी के लिए सामान पैक करना है, क्योंकि उनको सामान पैकिंग करना बहुत अच्छे से आता है. उनका सामान पैक करने का तरीका दूसरों से बेहतर था और वो अपने दोस्त जॉर्ज और हैरिस को कहते हैं कि पैकिंग का काम उन पे छोड़ दो. They fell into the suggestion with a readiness that had something uncanny about it. George spread himself over the easy chair and Harris cocked his legs on the table. Uncanny means strange or weird. Cocked his legs means bent the legs on the knees as he sat. The two friends agreed to his offer instantly, which was strange. George sat comfortably on the easy chair and Harris bent his knees as he sat on the sofa and kept his feet on the table. दोनों दोस्त ये बात तुरंत ही मान लेते हैं और जॉर्ज है वो आराम कुर्सी पे बैठ जाता है और हैरिस है वो सोफा पे घुटने मोड़ के टेबल पे अपने पांव रख के बैठ जाता है. This was hardly what I intended. What I had meant, of course, was that I should boss the job and Harris and George should potter about under my directions. I pushing them aside every now and then with, "Oh, you, here, let me do it." Here, intended means planned or meant. Potter about means do some unimportant things. By saying that he would pack, the writer did not mean that his friends would sit and relax while he would do all the work. He had meant that he would boss upon them while they would do all the chores. ये कहने का मतलब लेखक का ये नहीं था कि उसके फ्रेंड्स बैठ जाएं और आराम करें, लेकिन वो ये चाहते थे कि उसके फ्रेंड्स उसकी मदद करें. There you are, simple enough, really teaching them, as you might say. They're taking it in the way that did irritated me. There is nothing does irritate me more than seeing other people sitting about doing nothing when I am walking. The writer was irritated to see them sitting while he did all the work. राइटर को बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं लग रहा था, उससे गुस्सा आ रहा था क्योंकि उसके फ्रेंड्स बैठे हैं और वो काम कर रहा था. I lived with a man once who used to make me mad that way. He would loll on the sofa and watch me doing things by the hour together. He said it did him real good to look on at me messing about. Now I am not like that. I can't sit still and see another man slaving and working. Here, loll on the sofa means to recline or lean in a relaxed manner. Messing about means to waste time doing something without a particular purpose. Sit still means sit without doing anything. He recollects that once he lived with a man who would sit lazily on the sofa all day through and would watch the writer do all the work. The man would say that he enjoyed watching him go around doing all the work. This would make the writer mad with anger. The writer says that he could not sit idle and watch others work like slaves. राइटर याद करते हैं कि एक बार वह एक ऐसे व्यक्ति के साथ रहते थे जो पूरे दिन सोफे पर आराम से बैठा रहता था और लेखक को सारा काम करना पड़ता था. वह आदमी कहता था कि उसे घूमने फिरने हर काम करने में मज़ा आता है. इससे लेखक को गुस्सा आता था. लेखक ये कहते हैं कि उसे किसी और को काम करते हुए देख के बैठने में मज़ा नहीं आता है, क्योंकि वो ये फील करते हैं कि जब कोई दूसरा काम करता है और सामने कोई बैठता है तो उसका मतलब ये होता है कि सामने वाला गुलाम है. I want to get up and superintend and walk around with my hands in my pockets and tell him what to do. It is my energetic nature. I can't help it. However, I did not say anything but started the packing. It seemed a longer job than I had thought it was going to be, but I got the bag finished at last, and I sat on it and strapped it. Here, superintend means supervise or manage. Strapped it means closed it. On the other hand, he liked to check their walk around with his hands in his pockets and direct them on how to do the walk properly. He feels that as he was energetic, it was a part of his nature to behave in that manner. The writer did not say anything to his friends and started packing as he closed it. राइटर सिर्फ अपने पॉकेट्स में हाथ डाल के इंस्पेक्ट करना चाहते थे, अपने फ्रेंड्स को कैसे पैकिंग करनी है वो सिखाना चाहते थे। ऐसा उनका एनर्जेटिक नेचर था और वो उसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकते थे। राइटर ने अपने दोस्तों से कुछ नहीं कहा और पैकिंग शुरू कर दी। सारी चीज़ें बैग में डाल के जब राइटर ने बैग बंद किया, "And you going to put the boots in?" said Harris, and I looked round and found I had forgotten them. That's just like Harris. He couldn't have said a word until I'd got the bag shut and strapped. Of course, and George laughed. One of those irritating, senseless laughs of his. They do make me so wild. Here, wild means mad with anger. Harris said that he had forgotten to pack the boots. The writer felt that Harris could have reminded him before he had closed the bag, but he thought that Harris was like that. This was followed by an irritating laughter by George, which made writer wild and anger. जब राइटर ने बैग बंद किया तब हैरिस ने कहा कि तुमने अपने बूट्स पैक नहीं किए। ये सुन के जॉर्ज हंसने लगा और राइटर को गुस्सा आया। I opened the bag and packed the boots in, and then, just as I was going to close it, a horrible idea occurred to me. Had I packed my toothbrush? I don't know how it is, but I never do know whether I packed my toothbrush. My toothbrush is a thing that haunts me when I am traveling and makes my life a misery. Haunts means to repeatedly give trouble. Misery means sad. Writer opened the bag to keep the boots in it. As he was about to close it, he was struck by a strange thought that had he kept the toothbrush or not. He says that he never remembers if he has packed the toothbrush or not. Writer adds that while traveling, he always messes up with carrying his toothbrush. राइटर ने बूट्स रखने के लिए बैग खोला। बूट रखने के बाद जब वो बैग बंद करने जा रहे थे तब उन्हें याद आया कि क्या उन्होंने अपना टूथब्रश अंदर रखा है कि नहीं। वह कहते हैं कि जब भी वो यात्रा करते हैं तब उनके टूथब्रश के साथ कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़ हो जाती थी, वो कभी भूल जाते थे। I dream that I haven't packed it and woke up in a cold perspiration and get out of bed and hunt for it. And in the morning I pack it before I have used it and have to unpack again to get it. And it is always the last thing I turn out of the bag, and then I repack and forget it and have to rush upstairs for it at the last moment and carry it to the railway station wrapped up in the pocket handkerchief. Here, cold perspiration means sweat, hunt means search. The writer has nightmares of not having packed it, wakes up in sweat and looks for it. In the morning, he packs it before using it, then unpacks the bag to get the brush and uses it. As it is the last thing that comes out of the bag and he has repacked the bag, he forgets packing it again. At the last moment, he rushes to his room to get the brush, and finally he wraps it in his handkerchief and carries it to the railway station in his hand. Of course, I had to turn every mortal thing out now, and of course I could not find it. I rummaged the things up into much the same state that they must have been before the world was created, and then chaos reigned. Mortal thing means every ordinary thing. Rummaged means searched in a hurried or careless way. Chaos means confusion. Reigned means ruled. As writer was looking for his toothbrush in his bag, he had to remove everything, but he could not find it. He created a mess. Of course, I found George and Harris 18 times over, but I couldn't find my own. I put the things back one by one and held everything up and shook it. Then I found it inside a boot. I repacked once more. He found his friend's brushes many times but could not find his brush. He kept everything back into the bag one by one, shaking each item, and finally found the brush inside a boot. Then once again he repacked the bag. When I had finished, George asked if the soap was in. I said I did not care a hang without the soap was in or whether it wasn't, and I slammed the bag shut and strapped it, and found that I had packed my spectacles in it and had to reopen it. It got shut up finally at 10:05 p.m. and then there remained the hampers to do. Didn't care a hang means show no interest. Slammed means shut the lid forcefully and loudly. Hampers means baskets used to carry food, utensils, etc. Now when writer closed the bag, George asked if the soap was there inside it. As writer was impatient, he replied that he wasn't concerned if it was there or not, closed the lid and strapped the bag. Then he realized that he had pegged his spectacle in it too and had to open it again to get them. Finally, the bag was closed at 10:05 p.m. Then they had to pack the food baskets. Harris said that as they were left with less than 12 hours to leave, they should pack the baskets as well. Harris said that we should be wanting to start in less than 12 hours time and thought that he and George had better do the rest, and I agreed and sat down and they had a go. They began in a light-hearted spirit, evidently intending to show me how to do it. Light-hearted spirit means to be cheerful, evidently means clearly or obviously. It means Harris decided that the food baskets would be packed by him and George. Ryder agreed to take his turn for some rest while his friends packed the baskets. Then George and Harris started packing the hampers in a happy mood. They wanted to show Ryder that they could pack well. I made no comment. I only waited, with the exception of George and Harris, in the worst packer in this world, and I looked at the piles of plates and cups and kettles and bottles and jars and pies and stoves and cakes and tomatoes, etc., and felt that the thing would soon become exciting. Exception means a person or thing that does not follow the general rule. Ryder waited for them to create a mess because he considered Harris to be the worst packer in the world. Ryder looked at the piles of plates, cups, kettles and bottles, the jars, pies, cakes and tomatoes which had to be packed into the hampers. He thought that as the boys would mess up, it would be an interesting thing to watch. राइटर ये समझते थे कि हैरिस दुनिया का सबसे खराब पेकर है, उसे पैकिंग करना बिल्कुल नहीं आता है। उनको मालूम था कि ये गड़बड़ करने वाले हैं और ये देखने के लिए वो उत्सुक थे। It did. They started with breaking a cup. That was the first thing they did. They did that just to show you what they could do and to get you interested. Then Harris packed the strawberry jam on top of the tomato and squeezed it, and they had to pick out the tomato with a teaspoon. Squeezed means crush or squeeze something with force so that it becomes flat, soft or out of shape. It means the scene became interesting as they broke a cup at the start. Writer says that they broke the cup to indicate that they could do that too and to make their things interesting. Harris placed the jar of strawberry jam on top of the tomatoes. The tomatoes were squeezed by the jar, and then they removed the damaged tomato with the help of a spoon. और सही में गड़बड़ होनी स्टार्ट हो गई। शुरुआत में ही एक कप टूट गया। हैरिस ने स्ट्रॉबेरी जाम के जार को टमाटर के ऊपर रखा। जार से जो नीचे टमाटर था वो दब गया और उसका जो रस है वो निकल गया। अब वो जो रस को चम्मच से की मदद से वहाँ से हटा रहे हैं। एंड देन इट वॉज जॉर्ज's turn and he trod on the butter. I didn't say anything, but I came over and sat on the edge of the table and watched them. It irritated them more than anything I could have said. I felt that trod on means stepped on. It means next. George stepped on the butter. Writer remained silent but sat on the edge of the table to watch the action. His silence irritated his friends. इसके बाद जॉर्ज ने मक्खन पर कदम रख दिया। राइटर है वो चुपके से एक मेज के किनारे बैठे हुए थे। उनको देख के इन दोनों को गुस्सा आता है। It made them nervous and excited, and they stepped on things and put things behind them, and then couldn't find them when they wanted them. And they packed the pies at the bottom and put heavy things on top and smashed the pies in. It means they became nervous and stepped on the things. They kept the things behind them, and later, when they wanted them, they could not find them. They placed the pies on the bottom and kept heavier things on them, which smashed the pies. They upset salt over everything, and as for the butter, I never saw two men do more with 1 and 2 pence worth of butter in my whole life than they did. After George had got it off his sleeper, they tried to put it in the kettle. It wouldn't go in, and what was in wouldn't come out. Upset means overturned. Scrap means drag or pull. The boys overturned the can of salt on everything. Writer says that they created a lot of confusion with the small piece of butter. He had not seen anyone create so much mess with butter that was worth 1 and 2 pence, meaning it was a very small piece. As they did, George removed it from his sleeper and tried to put it into the kettle. जॉर्ज और हैरिस ने नमक की कैन को पलट दिया। राइटर कहते हैं कि उन्होंने मक्खन के छोटे टुकड़े के साथ बहुत गड़बड़ की। बहुत कम कीमत का मक्खन मतलब कि मक्खन का एक छोटा टुकड़ा। जॉर्ज ने मक्खन के टुकड़े को चप्पल से हटा के और इसे केटल में डालने की कोशिश की, जो करने में वो असफल रहे। They did scrape it out at last and put it down on a chair, and Harris sat on it, and it stuck to him, and they went looking for it all over the room. It means as he was unable to do that, he placed it on a chair. Harris sat on it. The butter stuck to him. He stood up, and both the boys went around the room looking for the piece of butter. जैसा कि हमें पता है कि वो मक्खन के टुकड़े को केटल में डालने में असमर्थ रहे, तो उन्होंने उस मक्खन के टुकड़े को कुर्सी पर रख दिया। हैरिस उस कुर्सी पर बैठा और वो उसके पीछे चिपक गया। फिर दोनों मक्खन के टुकड़े को ढूंढ रहे हैं कि वो कहाँ है। वो रूम में चारों ओर मक्खन के टुकड़े को ढूंढ रहे थे। I'll take my oath. I put it down on that chair, said George, staring at the empty seat. I saw you do it myself not a minute ago, said Harris. Most extraordinary thing I ever heard of, said George. So mysterious, said Harris. Then George got round at the back of Harris and saw it. Why, here it is all the time, he exclaimed indignantly. Oath means to swear upon something. Indignantly means in a manner indicating anger or annoyance at something perceived as unfair. George looked intently at the empty seat on which he had placed the butter a few minutes ago. He took an oath of truthfulness that he had placed it there not even a minute ago. Once again they searched it in the room. They met in the middle of the room empty-handed. George said that the disappearance of the butter was the most amazing thing that he had known. Harris said that the disappearance of the butter was a mystery. George saw the butter sticking to Harris' back and said that it had been there all this while. George कहते हैं कि उन्होंने मक्खन को 1 मिनट पहले ही, वो शपथ लेते हैं कि 1 मिनट पहले ही उन्होंने उस मक्खन को वहाँ पे रखा था। फिर से वो कमरे में मक्खन के टुकड़े को ढूंढते हैं, लेकिन उनको टुकड़ा नहीं मिलता है। जॉर्ज कहता है कि मक्खन का टुकड़ा गायब हो जाना एक आश्चर्यजनक बात है, और हैरिस कहता है कि मक्खन का गायब होना एक रहस्य है। फिर जॉर्ज ने हैरिस के पीछे मक्खन का चिपका हुआ टुकड़ा देखा और कहा कि ये तो यहीं पे है। Where? cried Harris, spinning round. Stand still, can't you? roared George, flying after him, and they got it off and packed it in the teapot. Montmorency was in it all, of course. Harris turned around and asked where it was. George flew to Harry's back and asked him to stand still. They removed the butter and packed it inside the teapot. हैरिस ने कहा कहाँ पे है? जॉर्ज ने कहा कि वो तुम्हारे पीछे चिपका हुआ है, और फिर वो लेके सोचते हैं कि हम इस मक्खन के टुकड़े को टीपोट के अंदर पैक कर देंगे। अब एंट्री होती है मॉन्टमोरेंसी की। मॉन्टमोरेंसी उनका एक कुत्ता है। मॉन्टमोरेंसी participated in all this. Montmorency's ambition in life is to get in the way and be sworn at. If he can scream in anywhere where he particularly is not wanted and be a perfect nuisance and make people mad and have things thrown at his head, then he feels his day has not been wasted. Sworn at means get scolded. Scream means to wriggle or twist one's body. Nuisance means to cause inconvenience or annoyance. It means Montmorency was to interrupt everyone and then get scolded for it. Writer adds that if Montmorency was able to twist into a place and create nuisance by angering people and get things thrown at him in return, he felt that he had utilized the day in a good way. मॉन्टमोरेंसी एक ऐसा डॉग है, एक ऐसा पेट डॉग है कि जिसका उद्देश्य सबको परेशान करना है। जब तक कोई उसे स्कोल्ड ना करे तब तक उसे ये नहीं लगता कि उसका दिन अच्छा गया है। उसका दिन तब भी अच्छा जाता है जब लोग उस पे कुछ चीज़ें फेंकते हैं या फिर उसे स्कोल्ड करते हैं। To get somebody to stumble over him and curse him steadily for an hour in his highest aim and object, and when he has succeeded in accomplishing this, his conceit becomes quite unbearable. Stumble means to trip over a hurdle, curse means scold, conceit means here his pride in himself. Montmorency's aim was to get people trip over him and scold him. By doing this, he felt that he had fulfilled his aim and would feel proud of his achievement. Montmorency का उद्देश्य लोगों को परेशान करना है और जब तक कोई उसे डांटता नहीं है तब तक उसे मज़ा नहीं आता है और उसका लक्ष्य पूरा नहीं होता है। He came and sat down on things just when they were wanted to be pegged, and he labored under the fixed belief that whenever Harris or George reached out their hand for anything, it was his cold, damp nose that they wanted. Montmorency sat on the things to be pegged. He thought that when George and Harris reached out for the things to be pegged, they were reaching out for his cold wet nose and would bring it forward for them. He put his leg into the jam and he worried the teaspoons and he pretended that the lemons were rats and got into the hamper and killed 3 of them before Harris could land him with the frying pan. Worried means disturbed. Pretended means to behave as if something is true when you know that it is not. Land him means hit or punch someone. It means he stepped into the jam bottle, he shook the teaspoons, he acted as if the lemons were rats and stepped into the hamper to kill these rats. He was stopped by Harris, who hit him with a frying pan. Harris said, I encouraged him. I didn't encourage him. A dog like that does not want any encouragement. It's the natural, original sin that is born in him that makes him do things like that. Harris blamed Reiter for encouraging Montmorency for doing all this mischief. Reiter says that a dog like Montmorency did not need encouragement. It was born to be like that and act like that. हैरिस राइटर को कहते हैं कि मॉन्टमोरेंसी को आपने बिगाड़ा है, लेकिन राइटर कहते हैं कि ऐसे जो डॉग होते हैं वो हैबिचुअल, वो नेचुरली ऐसे होते हैं। उनको प्रोत्साहन की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, लेकिन वो पैदा ही इसीलिए होते हैं कि वो दूसरों को परेशान करें। The packing was done at 12:50 and Harris sat on the big hamper and said he hoped nothing would be found broken. George said that if anything was broken, it was broken, which reflection seemed to comfort him. He also said he was ready for bed. We were all ready for bed. Harris was to sleep with us that night, and we went upstairs. Reflection means thought. At 12:50 they had packed the hampers. Harris sat on it and said that hopefully nothing would break in it. George was indifferent and said that if something broke it would not matter, as they were ready for bed. They went upstairs to sleep. 12:50 को पैकिंग करने के बाद वो दोनों ये बात करते हैं कि कुछ टूटना नहीं चाहिए। फिर जॉर्ज कहता है कि टूटने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है। अब उनको नींद आ रही थी और वो सोने के लिए ऊपर चले गए। We tossed for beds and Harris had to sleep with me, he said. Do you prefer the inside or the outside, Jay? I said I generally preferred to sleep inside a bed. Harris said it was odd. Joe said, what time shall I wake you fellows? Harris said 7. I said no 6 because I wanted to write some letters. Tossed means throw something somewhere lightly. As they settled in their beds, Harris asked Ryder if he preferred the inside or the outside of the bed. Ryder said that he preferred to sleep on the inside of the bed. This seemed strange to Harris. George asked them that he should wake them up at what time. Harris replied 7, while Ryder wanted to wake up at 6 as he had to write some letters. Harris and I had a bit of a row over it, but at last split the difference and said 6:30. Wake us at 6:30, George, we said. George made no answer, and we found on going over that he had been asleep for some time, so we placed the bath where he could tumble into it on getting out in the morning and went to bed ourselves. A bit of a row means an argument. Split the difference means this means that they agreed on 6:30 because it was halfway between 6 and 7. Tumble means to fall quickly and without control. Harris and Ryder had a discussion on the time and finally they settled on 6:30, each accommodating his time by half an hour. George did not respond as he was asleep. Harris and George made mischief by placing the bathtub next to George's bed so that he would fall into out as he woke up, on the pretext that this way he would take a bath as soon as he got up. Here we have come to an end of this story. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.